Hello guys, welcome to another episode of World of Warships with the magnificent Margon. Today we're heading out in the Farragut, the Tier 6 American destroyer. This was an interesting battle. This is on the new map Solomons. I actually do enjoy this map. I think they've changed it a little bit since it first came out. I think there was actually a gap between the islands. I think there was like a couple of different runways through where they've made now the islands in the center of the map a little bit more chunkier, a bit more solid. You can shoot between the old gaps though, I have noticed in certain situations, which I did with my Pensacola earlier this evening, so it's actually quite interesting. Now, I don't normally use my engine boost at the start of the battle, but for some reason that I will not go into a lot of depth about, I had a baby on my lap during this battle, so it's a bit more of a challenge when you have a 7-month-old boy on your lap deciding that he wants to bash the keyboard. And I'm so glad I didn't pop a smoke screen, because that would annoy me even more, but the fact that he popped my engine boost didn't make me very happy either. But nonetheless, going into B. Now this is a bit risky. Going into B with the Farragut and I believe it was the Nicholas Destroyer here makes things very difficult. As you can see, I'm trying to get to positions where I can do things. Now this is where I pop my shells, fire at him, but I do a narrow burst, but I only fire one spread of 4 torpedoes at the Farragut, trying to get him there. You can see that Nicholas is actually shooting at me. I'm ignoring him to a certain extent. And here we go. I pre-aimed another volley at this Farragut, thinking, oh yeah, he's probably seen the shell, and he's fired all of his things, and now I pop a smoke screen and I disappear. I'm playing a very defensive style at the moment. I don't really want to take too much damage. As you can see, I've stopped firing my guns, but I am watching these torpedoes, and if I'm smart enough, freak out. Can we go over the top? No, I don't want them. I want my torpedoes. Oh, I can't see my torpedoes. I think I hit him with torpedoes. Maybe I was wrong. I thought I hit the Farragut with torpedoes. Either way, I'm chewing up this Nicholas now. I'm just firing constantly on him and just sending a barrage over his way. Now it is quite hard. He is turning and making it a little bit difficult for me, but he is opening himself up to a lot of other factors with himself at the same time. There we go. There's another hit on him. A few more good hits. Come on. And there we go. Nicholas down. Right. What's next? We've got an Ober over here, Fuso, and a Congo. Okay, this is not real good. Plus our 2 cruisers and battleship are fleeing. Okay. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to go charging headlong into the A area pretty much. Now, the Farragut is actually relatively good as a destroyer. Not quite like the Nicholas, but near enough to the Nicholas. You pretty well have the same guns most of the way up to the American tree. The only change is the torpedoes and stuff like that, and eventually you do get better torpedoes. I do enjoy the American destroyers a bit more because they are a challenge. You've got to basically get within range with the American destroyers, and getting in within range with the American destroyers can be a challenge in themselves. As you can see, I'm requesting support. I've got everyone running away from me, and I'm the only one down here with this Ober and the Fuso and the Congo, and realistically I should probably die. As you can see, fired one spread of torpedoes at this Ober. I know I'm being spotted, and I'm just sort of trying to get myself in positions where I'm not going to take too much damage, particularly from those battleships. I don't want to wear a lot, but I need to try and make this guy believe, oh, he's fired all these torpedoes, and get myself into a much better position where I can actually fire a spread just like this and hopefully catch him off guard, which is in the end the ultimate goal. So I'll keep firing torpedoes to try and torpedoes, my cannons to try and distract him more or less. He's fired torpedoes at me, but it's too late for him, and he's about to wear 2 of my torpedoes, and it's game over. Right, that's a brilliant start. Now we've got the Congo and the Fuso in the background there. What do we do? What do we do? Well, I sort of felt confident enough to go in after these guys, but at the same time I only had a cruiser support, so I sort of thought, you know what, I'm going to chase these guys off. Let's send these guys to the far end of the world and get them out of my way, and then let's go to the middle and deal with this damn destroyer. As you can see, when I get the chance, I'll just keep watching this. The destroyer on the map anyway, you can see he's sort of heading in our general direction. I had to make sure I capped this base. I've done well to avoid all the battleships shots. The cruiser that was on my flank, the Oba, have fired torpedoes randomly over here. So, one of those things. Now I'm pulling off, I'm going to start chasing this Minokaz. The Minokaz is actually a very, very good Japanese destroyer as well. So I'm more or less just getting myself in a position, keep firing shells over the top of the island into the Congo, and that's it. Okay, Minokaz time. Alright, let's try and chase this guy down. Let's put that there, and let's try and get this guy to bugger off and not cause any more trouble. I have got a Phoenix coming in to give me a hand. Unfortunately, I have had to leave my Oba very much exposed, but you put yourself in positions like that, there's only so much a destroyer can do. Now, even though the American destroyers are more or less gunships, you rely on your guns more than anything else. You've got to take the good with the bad, and that's definitely how I see it with these ships. You've got to be able to work the guns, and you've got to know that when you fire, you're going to be spotted no matter what. So when you fire, you've got to keep these guns swinging, much as what I am doing now. Now, as much as I only got the front 2 guns firing on this Minokaz, I'm now getting my other side guns. As you can see, the New York's coming into range, critical, well, incapacitation or something. He's fired the torpedoes, this Minokaz, but it's too sad, and it is too late for him. He did, however, take out the Phoenix with torpedoes. So, well, as much as that's good for him, it's actually quite bad for me. Now, I am still getting spotted. I'm within the range of the New York to be able to see me, so I'm going to try and break my cover by using the island to disappear. But at the same time, this New York's not even moving. So let's take full advantage of this and fire HE over into him and just keep pounding and pounding while we capture B. Because no one's shooting at me, why not? Just keep doing what works. Now, the island is in my way now, so I am turning my ship. I am still being spotted by aircraft. Let's try and get into a position. Let's try and get out of here. The New York looks like he's actually decided to start moving after he's taken a hell of a beating from not only me, but the cruisers on the other flank. I believe he's on fire, by the way it looks. Yes, he's on fire. I think I might have actually set him on fire at some point. Oops, so Fosh is going live. Excellent, just what we need to see. I thought I actually closed all my programs, but anyway. So I just keep firing. Now New York has got his guns in a position where he can potentially shoot me. So I am trying to get my ship to sail away, so that I'm able to be in a safe position, but I still want to keep firing down on this New York. I have just had bombs drop on me. As you can see, didn't use my repair straight away. Oh, big amount of incapacitation there, but it's been enough where I can just repair myself now, and it was probably worthwhile saving. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people forget to do. They actually forget to save it. Sometimes when if you see things happening, like I saw the shells coming in, I saw the planes coming in over the top of me. As you saw, my secondaries came online, so I could actually use them to my advantage, and that's all I can do. Leaving that battleship alive, that could be the make or break moment for me. But again, the Congo and the Fuso have popped up to cause trouble, and now I'm going to have to try and fight them and push them back away from A again. Only thing is, we've got, I believe it's the Nicholas has actually driven into the cap area B, which means all the effort I went into to actually capture that area was for naught. Now, the Fuso, it's time to actually deal with him and get rid of him. As you can see, my secondaries are firing on planes. I'm not too concerned. I know I'm being exploited anyway because of how close they are, so I can actually not worry about that. The Fuso's not looking at me, which is even better for me, allowing me to actually just open up and fire on him. Now, as you can see, all I'm doing is just using it as a gunboat. I'm just sitting here harassing with HE. He is now on fire. That gives me more things. Matharius is now online. Even better. Another Twitch streamer I can watch. Both Surfosh and Matharius, if you don't know, are contributors from the EU region. Surfosh plays in a lot of World of Tanks. Playing in World of Tanks, particularly in the Russian server and the EU server, and I think he actually plays in North America. I'm not sure. North America, I think it's more he plays in. Surfosh plays a lot with circumflexes, if you don't know as well. And Matharius, well, he's a World of Tanker, but I think he plays a lot of other games these days now. I used to watch him when he played World of Tanks a lot more. Got onto leading into him from Rita Gamer, another Twitch stream contributor from the EU region. And I'm still, as you can see, barraging shell after shell after shell into this Fuso. It's just, he is firing back at me, and I'm somehow just hanging on by the skin of my teeth, basically, and he is down. But I've got the Nicholas firing on me, and I've got the New York. I now begin to send a couple of shells back and decide, nope, it's time to disappear. Let's get a smoke screen up. I'm not in a position where I want to be. Let the dive bombers shoot me as they need to, or bomb on me, weave a bit, and get out of here. The New York's firing on me, the Nicholas is firing on me. I don't really want anyone. Big reasons why, well, you can see there's a Congo map humping the edge of the map. I have got the Ober's still sitting over there doing what he does best, so, well, you know what, I can disappear into a smoke screen. I've activated my engine boost, bringing my ship around using the smoke screen as cover to decide what my new attack vector will be. I do, as you can see here, do a widespread on roughly where I think the Nicholas might be. Now, didn't fire all my torpedoes just in case he has moved closer to this island, and I need my torpedoes to finish him off. But this is one of those things where you're just doing a bit of a scare tactic to make the destroyer think twice. If he sees that, he might turn away and not actually come anywhere near this area, so to speak. Now, the Over and the battleship, the Congo, is still map humping. Now the Nicholas has popped up. He's in full power energy mode to get out of here. But I think this is pretty well the end of the battle, and I think I've done considerably well. Farragut, surprisingly, being the first time I played it, and I didn't play it in closed beta, I unlocked it, but I didn't have a lot of battles in it, so I didn't experience it in its fullest. I actually really like this ship. Surprisingly, I think this could be really, really fun to play. And it's actually not a bad destroyer. And it's pretty well the Nicholas, but a bit more, just that bit more. Now, I did put the upgraded torpedoes on it. I have been finding that despite the fact you lose 1 kilometer range with these torpedoes, all in all, it's not as bad as you think. Trading 1 kilometer of range for the extra damage is pretty good, particularly as you saw. I took out the Ober early in the battle with a devastating strike, which was good. And look at this, shooting through that gap over onto this New York. Who would have thought? I'm pretty sure that gap originally, when it was in play, was actually a gap you could drive through, and I think they changed it where it wasn't in the end. That last volley of shells is going to miss, but the first volley got him with 2 hits. Brilliant, and that's the end of the battle. Coming over to the results, I did that very quickly. That ended a lot faster than I thought it would. Magically, as you can see, 117 hits. Now, that's actually fairly powerful in my opinion. Like, I don't break the hundreds normally, particularly in my destroyers. I generally only break the hundreds in, like, say, the Cleveland or some of the other cruisers. I've done quite a fair bit in the Pensacola, not as much though. The Cleveland seems to be the ship, or the St. Louis, or the Phoenix, or the Omaha that I've actually done that sort of level of shells hitting. So for a destroyer, that's pretty good. Two torpedo hits. So not as many torpedoes hits as I would have liked. 3 planes down, 2 incapacitations or critical hits, 3 destroyed. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I've done well there. 3 fires, 2 floodings, 1 defender point, 2 full captures for myself, as well as I did complete 2 daily missions, which was effective shooting and heavy damage. First win of the night, so I actually had a couple of good wins after that, so I actually got up to 3. I should have played 1 more battle in my over, and I possibly would have got the 4th one and completed the missions for the day, but I'm not too concerned as such. So I was really impressed. As you can see, 242,000, nearly 243,000 credits earned, 5,202 credits with my premium account, along with the 261 dingos, and the devastating strike also gave me flags as well. Heading over to the damage, the details screen. Alright, cool. As you can see in detail, the HE shell damage is nearly 25,000, fires set 14,000 damage, and torpedo hits is 21,000-ish sort of thing. So all in all, it's pretty good damage. What does that take it to? Sort of 50, 60, 70 odd thousand roughly, if you work it out. 60,000 probably would be closer. So it's not brilliant, but it's actually pretty good. For a destroyer of its class, it's not like the Japanese destroyers or the incoming Russian destroyers with the range of the torpedoes will get and things like that. So it's sort of going to be, it's interesting. Let's put it that way. Most of my damage, as you can see, was done predominantly through HE shells hitting. Probably if I got a few more torpedoes, that could have been actually quite different. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Oh, hang on a minute. What's going on here? There should be one more screen. Here it is. Top damage, top experience. Base experience was 1,700. So 1,700 plus the first win of the day, plus the bonus you get as a premium account, 5,000. So pretty good. I'm happy with that. And you know what? I worked pretty hard to get that. In my opinion, I had to concentrate pretty hard, and I had, as I said earlier, a 7-month-old trying to bash my keyboard every few seconds. There was a point in the game when I was sailing that I actually went and grabbed his booster chair and threw him into that just to get him out of the way, so I didn't actually die, and I was able to concentrate a bit more, and I gave him his keyboard that he could bash on and pretend he's playing with me at the same time, which is a lot of fun. And it's something that it excites me to do, those sort of things. So guys, look, that's pretty well it. I can't describe it any other way. The Farragut, it's actually a pretty amazing ship, and this is probably one of the best battles I've played in the the Farragut to date. And I've really enjoyed it, and I thoroughly recommend the American lines if you want a bit more of a challenge. If you're seeking that challenge in destroyers, these are the challenge destroyers in my opinion. Being spotted at 7 kilometers is pretty well one of the highest spotting ranges at the moment in the game, and your torpedoes, well, you go from pretty well a 6 kilometer torpedo, I believe, down to a 4.5 when you get to the Farragut. It's not till tier 8 by memory that you actually get a get access to torpedoes that are outside of your spotting range. So you've really got to use your surroundings, work out when to strike, when not to strike, when to push in, when not to push in, just when to sit back and you let your guns do the talking, and all those sort of things. So it is a balancing act, and it is actually a challenge to play American destroyers, and I can't wait to see what other destroyers are like. I do have the ISO-CAS, and it is definitely different playing style, but I can actually use what I've learnt from the American destroyers to actually conceal that ship even more, because the spotting range on the ISO-CAS, I believe, is about 5 kilometers, and the torpedoes travel up to like 10. So for me, I'm pretty well hiding in the normal optimum range that I would shoot torpedoes at for the destroyer. So I'm absolutely loving that at the moment. I think it's great because I can sort of just linger around like I normally do, and then boom, hit them with torpedoes and get out. Particularly the battleship drivers that don't like to change directions too much, or even the cruiser drivers that do the same thing. So guys, outside of that, look, enjoy what you like, hit the like button. If you haven't, hit the non-like button. Either way, it works. There's a subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel. I am doing a lot more World of Warships than World of Tanks these days, purely because World of Warships is the game for me. I am loving this game, and I will be probably doing a lot more reviews on World of Warships than World of Tanks. Maybe go back to World of Tanks down the track when things change, just to sort of do something different. But yes, otherwise World of Warships is the game for me at this point in time. Facebook page in the description below. There is a link to my Facebook page if you want to go over there. I do post on there when my videos have gone up on YouTube, so if you want to get notified when it happens, go into there. Otherwise, just watch my page, subscribe, as I said, like if you want to. Facebook page, go over there. I think that's about it. Guys, look, I have been trying to encourage Fresh Meat to jump in and do some live streaming, but he's been very busy setting things up and doing other things, family stuff basically. So if I get around to getting online with him, we get around to it. I'm hoping that we can. It'd be good to do some stuff, particularly before the German and Russian new ships come out on the 19th of October. That's the EU, so we'll probably get it around the same time. World of Warships seems to be operating on the same level, where as they get it, we're getting it. It's not like World of Tanks where we get it and then they'll get it and then we're not going to get it for like a week and so on and so forth. So World of Warships seems to be the way they're doing it, is they're trying to roll it out across all the servers in one go and things like that. So that's all that. Look, can't wait to do a few more battles, and yeah, if you guys see me online, shout out, say hello. I will try to read the chat log as much as I can. If I don't, I'm sorry, but yeah, leave me a comment if you want to. Outside that, guys, happy hunting, and I'll catch you on those seas.